let's try this again for the third time. My GPS doesn't want to be quiet, even though I'm not moving. So I heard this report that accidents are up 8% over last year in the United States. And they're blaming it on frustration and people in a rush and not being courteous and speeding and always wanting to be in front. But yet they say that most of these accidents are due to drinking and driving. So that kind of neglect or cancels out the first part of what they said, because obviously if you're drunk you're going to be in accidents. But anyway, I think there's 8% more traffic on the road this year than last year, so obviously that would cover it right there. There's way more traffic on the road this year than last year. So obviously you're going to have more accidents. But I think they should compare this year to maybe before the pandemic to get an accurate assessment of the accidents. But this is how people think these days. I don't know. Every story in the news, regardless of the network, is geared towards what they think. You can change statistics any way you want to. You can manipulate them. It's all BS as far as I'm concerned. They just need something to talk about, so they make whatever story they want up. But people are getting more and more ignorant. Like 70% of cars nowadays have optional turn signals, I guess, because nobody uses them anymore. They have to be always in front. They dive across 3 lanes to get out into the hammer lane, even though there's not a freaking car for miles in the slow or in the middle lane, but they just have to be out in the hammer lane. And then they'll stay out there till they dive across 3 lanes to get to their exit. It's ridiculous. People are freaking unbelievable these days. And no common sense. I see this. I'm driving along the interstate in Connecticut this morning, and there's a car parked on the side of the road. Nobody in it. It's on a pretty good downhill grade to an exit at the bottom of the hill. You can see all this from where the car is parked on the side of the road. The exit ramp is fairly substantial, lots of room to park on it. You could park trucks on it and still have plenty of room to get by. And this car's parked pretty close to the top of the hill. It's probably a mile and a half long hill. And nobody's in it. And when I get to the bottom of the hill, just a little ways up from where the ramp starts, I see a guy walking with a gas jug. Now, if that was me, first of all, in 20 some odd years of driving, I've never run out of fuel. in my truck or gas in any car I've ever driven. But I can understand you want to push it. Maybe you don't have any money, whatever. But obviously you have money if you can buy a jerry can of gas, unless you begged for it on the gas station. But that's another story. But if that was me and I ran out of gas at the top of a hill, put the car in neutral, put your four-way flashers on, and roll. If you don't have enough speed, roll down the side of the highway till you get to the exit. I didn't really see a gas station close by, like on the side of the ramp. But at least you could have got to the ramp a mile and a half down the road. So he had to walk a mile and a half just to get to the exit, get gas somewhere, I'm not sure where he got it, and then walk at least a mile and a half uphill to his car. I mean, that takes some brains to, oh, I ran out of gas, better pull over and park. Do people not know there's neutral and that gravity is an actual thing and works? I mean, that's just unbelievable. And speaking of unbelievable, I'll show you a bonehead truck driver. This bobtail. He's got this whole parking spot, and he parks at the very end of it. For what reason, I'm not sure. But as you can see, the truck in behind me is having a hard time getting into the space. And I had a little bit of a hard time getting into the space. Because this idiot parks at the very end. Like an idiot. Golden West Transport, LLC of Columbus, Ohio. Bonehead. Well, that's all I got for now. Little bitch session going on. But yeah, pretty ridiculous stuff happening. Bye for now. Like, subscribe, comment. If you want to know any videos or anything about trucking, about trains, you have any questions, let me know. I'm fairly versed in transportation issues. Have a good one.